Hey guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my birthday book haul. So a lot of the books that I'm going to talk about are books that I was gifted for my birthday or books that I decided to pick up specifically for my birthday because I wanted to splurge a little bit, and that's exactly what I did. But then all the other books are just random books that I have picked up here or there since the last time that I've done a book haul. So we're gonna go ahead and just start with the books that I got specifically for my birthday. So the first book that I have here is Spy Family. It is the first book in a manga series, which I'm really excited to start. I don't read manga at all, so this will be the first one, but this is just about a family of spies. I was gifted this copy from my friend Bonnie over at Books with Bonnie, so I will have her channel linked down below, but I'm super excited for this. So this one, The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, is an adult fantasy. I was gifted this copy from my friend Alicia over at Birdie in the Books. I will have her channel linked down below as well. But we plan to buddy read this in the wintertime just because of the wintry vibes this book kind of gives off. I do not remember what this book is about. This is part of a trilogy. And back in the day, like a few years ago, this was like a booktube darling. So I'm really excited to get to this and hopefully I will enjoy it. So then the next one is Battle Royale. This is like the remastered version. And I was gifted this from my dad. And I'm really excited about this because it is, compared to the Hunger Games, it's supposed to be like a really more intense version of the Hunger Games, and I love the Hunger Games. You probably can't tell because I don't talk about it much on my channel, but it is a series that I really enjoy. Also enjoy the movies, but I was under the impression that this was like a manga series as well. It's not. It is a regular novel and it is huge. But from the reviews that I have seen about this, people say that it reads really fast. So I'm really excited for this one. And then the last book that I was gifted from my friend Alex, who is over on Bookstagram. I will have her account linked down below. But this is Blood at the Root by Ladarian Williams. This is a young adult fantasy. All I know is that it follows this young boy whose mother has recently passed away, and he discovers that he has magical powers. I did not hear anything about this book. The only reason why I know about it is because my sister pointed it out to me and asked me have I read it, and I said no because I had never heard of it. So now I'm happy that I have it. So the next few books that I want to talk about are books that I bought myself specifically for my birthday. A lot of these came from a Amazon gift card that I had, and with that gift card I decided to buy nothing but books because why not? So the first one that I have here is Road to Ruin by Hannah Lee. This is a adult fantasy. It is one of my most anticipated reads for this year, but this just says it's an electrifying, gritty fantasy that takes a royal messenger on a high-speed chase across a climate-ravaged wasteland featuring motorbikes, monsters, and magic. The motorbikes, monsters, and magic is what sold me on this. It's also compared to Mad Max. I don't really know what that is. I think it's a movie. Maybe it was a book series as well, but I guess if you like that, you'll like this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. The next one that I got is The Duchess Effect by Tracy Livesay. This is a adult romance. This is the second book in, I think it's just a duology. The first book is American Royalty, and I enjoyed that romance. It wasn't like a new all-time favorite or anything, but it was definitely enjoyable while I was reading it. And it just follows this American rapper who falls in love with a prince. So it was a fun time, and I'm hoping this one will be too. This next book was not on my radar at all, but I heard Ashley from Ashley's Little Library talk about this in like one of her vlogs. If I can find that vlog, I'll have it linked down below so you guys can check it out. But when she talked about this, it sounded like everything that I would enjoy in a thriller. So this is Hunted. It is a adult thriller. And all that I can recall about the synopsis is that a bomb has gone off and two children, teenagers that were reported missing might have connections to that bomb that went off. And then there's like a whole cult, I think, that might be involved, and there's like a lot of politics in this, and so it just sounded like something that I would have a fun time with, so I picked it up. This was a random pick for me because I had never heard of it, never seen anyone talk about it, and I was browsing through Barnes and Nobles and I decided to pick this up, one, because the cover kind of got me. This is What Kind of Mother by Clay McLeod Chapman. It's a adult horror, and this one follows this struggling single mother. She goes back to her hometown. She reconnects with an old flame, and that guy that she reconnects with their young child is missing, and so she gets wrapped up in that. And just from like the little blurbs that's on the back of here, it just is one of those like horror stories that really dives deep into like motherhood, and so I'm interested. And so then the next one I picked up is Dead Girls Walking by Sammy Ellis. This is a young adult horror. Again, another book where we just have to like look at that cover. It is stunning. But this one, all I know is it's about a girl. Her name is Temple Baker, and her father is the North Point Killer. He's a serial killer. That's all I know. That's all I needed to know. The cover is in fact what made me pick this up. Another one that has a stunning cover. This is The Black Girl Survives in this one. It is a collection of short horror stories. This is another young adult book. I've actually seen a few people review this one and they have enjoyed it, so hopefully I will enjoy it too. Again, with like the really pretty covers. So this is While Sleeping Girls Lie. This is a young adult, I don't know if it's like horror or mystery, maybe a combination of the two, but this is the same author that wrote Ace of Spades, which I enjoyed. I've kind of heard more mixed things about this one, but this one just follows this girl who's starting her 3rd year of high school at like this prestigious academy. I think other girls have gone missing, and then she like gets wrapped up into that. Not sure, but I am looking forward to this one. This is the last one that I bought specifically for my birthday, and this is People Person by Candace Carty Williams. I think this is just like an adult contemporary fiction. This is the same author that wrote Queenie. And so as you guys know, I absolutely adored Queenie. It's one of my favorite books. So I was excited when I learned that she had this one, but this has been out for a few years. But this just says, if you could choose your family, you wouldn't choose the Penningtons. 1 father, 4 mothers, 5 children. And I heard this book is messy. And y'all know I love me some mess and some drama. So I'm excited for this. So the next few books that I'm going to be talking about are books that I have received from Book of the Month. So I stopped at March in my last book haul. So we're going to be talking about April, May, and June. And so some of these I have already read. I think a couple of them I don't have a review for yet. And then one of them I do have a review for. So starting with the Book of the Month picks for the month of April, we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is the 3rd book in the Part of Your World adult romance series. I really enjoyed this one. I gave this 5 stars. I have not talked about it yet. It is going to be in my next recent reads. But this follows Emma and Justin, who believe they are cursed. Every time they are in a relationship and then that relationship ends, the person that they were in a relationship with goes off to find like the love of their life, and they don't. So they decide to date each other with hopes of going on a few dates, breaking up, and then hopefully they will be able to find the love of their lives. But we all know it didn't exactly work that way. I adored this story. It's a fun time. It's the 2nd book in this series that I gave a 5 stars. More to come on that in my recent read. The next book that we have here is The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I have a full spoilery review of my thoughts over this book because I did not like it. This is an adult mystery. I think I gave it 2 stars, and the more and more I think about it, it definitely did not deserve 2 stars. I think this is more of like a 1-star read. But this just follows, I think her name was Belle. Yes. Belle's mother had been missing for a few years, a long time. And while they are doing a documentary over Rachel, her mother's disappearance, Rachel then reappears, and Belle and like her father, they're trying to figure out exactly what happened because Rachel's story keeps changing. So yeah, I did not enjoy this. I will have that review linked down below in case you guys want to know my full spoilery thoughts. Then I picked up The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I think this is like a standalone adult fantasy. I have not read anything from Leigh Bardugo, and I'm not really sure this is probably the best place to start because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. It seems like people who have really enjoyed her other stuff has not been really enjoying this one, so I'm kind of nervous to go into it. But it just says fate can be changed, curses can be broken. Yep, that's all I got for this. Hopefully I'll enjoy it whenever I get to it. So then the last book that I selected for the month of April is Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda. This is a adult thriller. I have a few of Megan Miranda's books that I have not read yet. And so all of her books, I feel like they get a lot of mixed reviews. So I picked them up after I've seen like a really positive review, and then I'll start to see a lot of more mixed to negative reviews, and so then I just never read them. But I am really looking forward to this one because people who have read like her other books and didn't really like them seem to really like this one, so that's promising. All I know about this one is that this woman returns back to her town after her father, who was a detective, dies. That's all I got, but I hope it's good. So then I only have one pick for the month of May. I was not feeling any of the picks and I almost did not get this one, but I went on Goodreads and saw that quite a few people really enjoyed this. But this is Five Broken Blades by May Corland. I think this is adult fantasy, but it's about 5 assassins that's trying to kill a king. They actually have a really stunning edition from Barnes and Nobles that has like the spray painted edges. Had I known that before I picked this up, I probably just would have gotten that edition, but it's fine. Hopefully I enjoy it. So next up, we have the 3 books that I got for the month of June from Book of the Month. First one being One Perfect Couple by Ruth Ware. This is actually the book that I'm going to be taking on my vacation. My vacation will be next week, and I cannot wait because this just seems like a book that would be good to read while sitting on a beach, especially because this takes place on the beach. But this is Ruth Ware's newest book. I think it's another adult like mystery thriller, and it takes place with the main character. Her boyfriend is selected to go on this show called One Perfect Couple that takes place on an island, so she goes with him, and then some like things happen. I'm excited about this. I was not a fan of Ruth Ware's book last year, 0 Days. Like, I did not like it at all. And so I've been seeing more positive reviews for this one, so I'm excited. So then I just randomly picked this one up, never heard of it. When I read the description on Book of the Month, it sounded good. So this is Margot's Got Money Troubles by Ruthie Thorpe. This is, I think it's just an adult fiction, but it says a bold, laugh out loud, funny, and heartwarming story about one young woman's attempt to navigate adulthood, new motherhood, and her meager bank account in an increasingly online world. Sounded good to me when I read the description, and it's pretty short, so it seems like something I can fly through. So then the last book that I got from Book of the Month, this is technically like my free birthday pick, and so this is an older title. This is The Couple Next Door by Sherry Lapina. I have recently read another Sherry Lapina that I really, really enjoyed. I don't know what it is about that woman's books, but they just speak to me. I don't know if I'm just always picking them up at the right time, but I'm eating them up. So I saw this one on there and I was like, I need to have it. So I think this is one of her older titles, but it says, how well do you know the couple next door or your husband or even yourself? People are capable of almost anything. I love her domestic thrillers, so I'm really excited for this one. So all of the rest of the books that I am going to talk about are just books that I have randomly picked up, like I said, since the last time I've done a book haul. So the first 2 that I want to go ahead and talk about is the continuation in the Housemaid series. So we have The Housemaid Secret, and then I literally just picked this up yesterday. This is The Housemaid is Watching. So I'm excited to get to these. And if you don't know anything about these, it's by Frida McFadden. It's an adult thriller series, and it just follows this maid named Millie, who has some secrets in her past. But in the first book, she started working as a housekeeper for a family, and then she got wrapped up and all of their secrets. So I really enjoyed it. People seem to have really enjoyed the second one. I've started seeing reviews for this and it's just the same. People are enjoying it. So we're gonna go back to a book that I've already talked about, that I've already said that I did not enjoy. But before I realized I was not gonna enjoy that book, I had ordered a special copy of it. Again, we have the reappearance of Rachel Price. I pre-ordered this from Waterstones. I was so excited about it, especially because I never ordered anything from Waterstones, and this was a really pretty copy. So this is what the front looks like. It has the sprayed edges to give the like illusion of, you know, film. And then when you open it up, it's in pages. I think it's nothing on the back. And then this is the cover without the dust jacket. I thought it looked really cool and I was really excited about it. I don't think I'm going to keep the copy that I have from Book of the Month, but because I have all of Holly Jackson's other books that I did enjoy, I am going to keep this one, especially because I just think it's such a pretty copy, even though I did not like the book. Next up, I have this really cool edition of Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. This is a adult thriller. This is a popular author. I have not read from her yet, but I wanted this copy because it just looks so cool. This is a Barnes and Noble's edition. And so because this book revolves around like these sisters and some videotapes, that's all I remember. That's how they made this look like a VHS tape. So it has like this slipcover and then you have the book. I think now they are just selling the book like this. You don't get like the slipcover, but I'm happy that I was able to get the copy that actually has a slipcover because it was pretty cool. I showed this to my sister and she was pretty impressed. The girl's not impressed by anything, but she was actually impressed by this edition of this book. Okay, so for the next 3 books, I am obsessed with Bridgerton. I never thought that I would say that, but I am obsessed with the show. I have not finished, see part 2 of season 3. After I finish filming this, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. But because I have been enjoying the show so much, I finally decided that it's time for me to read the source material. So I bought the first 3 books in the series. So I've actually just finished this one. I'm going to be talking about it in my next recent reads, but it's The Duke and I. This is Daphne and Simon's story. Then we have An Officer and a Gentleman. I think this is Benedict. No. This one's next, I think. So then we have The Viscount Who Loved Me. This is Anthony's story. So this was season 2. And then this one is book 3, which is An Officer from a Gentleman. This is Benedict's story. But we got Colin and Penelope's story in the series. So season 3 is Colin and Penelope. So they skipped Benedict. I guess they're going to come back to Benedict in season 4. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I was excited to pick these up. And the first book I thought was fine. I'm not sure I would have really liked the first book had I not already seen the series, but I am still interested in reading the rest of them. So next up I have King of Wrath by Anna Hong. This is a adult romance. It's the first in the series. And I don't really remember what this is about. It says, she was my North Star, the brightest jewel in my sky. I think this woman falls in love with a billionaire. No. So apparently this billionaire was blackmailed into marrying this woman. And then they end up falling in love. That's all I got. I think when the series was first coming out, it was a lot more positive and now it's turning more mixed. So I still want to read it. Hopefully I enjoy it. So then I have A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. This is the second book that I have from him. The first book that I bought was The Cabin at the End of the World. I still have not read that. I will get to it eventually, but I got this one because it kind of reminds me of a horror movie that I seen like a while ago. But this family is dealing with their, I think she's like 14. Yeah, 14-year-old daughter who begins to display signs of acute schizophrenia. And they actually, for some reason, end up calling a priest to come to the house because some things are happening. And I am excited for this because this definitely sounds like something that I would enjoy. And I've been looking for some horror books that is actually going to scare me. So I hopefully this will do it. So then I have The Henchman and The Midnight Auctions by Harrison Taylor. So I randomly picked this up from Barnes and Nobles. The author was actually sitting there trying to get people to buy his book, and he was signing them. So I did get it. I got it signed. And does anybody else feel like when you go to any of these bookstores and authors are there and they're not like well-known authors, I just feel obligated to buy their books? I don't know. I just feel bad because it has to be hard to try to, get people interested in your books, especially if they've never heard of you. So I decided to pick up this book. I'm hoping to get to it soon, but yeah, I don't really know what it's about besides a man that becomes a henchman. So the next 3 books were actually given to me because my friend Alex did not want them basically. And she asked me if I wanted them and I said, yes, why yes, I will take them. The first one is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So this is a really popular, I think it's a young adult romantasy. And so I've definitely had my eye on this one. And I don't really remember what this is about either. It just says only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Isla, the exceptional, the elites. So hopefully I like it because everybody else seems to. Then she gave me her book of the month copy of The Only One Survives by Megan Miranda. Again, I just said this before. A lot of people are like, her books are hit or miss. And this was a miss with my friend. She did not enjoy it. But this just says 7 hours in the past, 7 days in the present, 7 survivors remaining. Who would you save? I'm interested in it. Again, I've seen mixed reviews, but we'll see. Then the last one that she did not want and gave to me was Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. This is another one that has been getting a lot of mixed reviews. I keep hearing the same critique about it, of how it starts off really great and then by the second half, it just slows down completely. But this is about a woman and her 2 children who are at home one night when someone invades their home. I think it's supposed to be a thriller, but people are just saying it's just more suspenseful than anything. But hopefully I enjoy it. So then I made a video at the beginning of the year where I was talking about all the series that I was hoping to start or finish or continue for this year, and I put on that list Karen Slaughter. And so I wanted to start with her backlist, but she has the Grant County series that she first came out with. And so the first book in that series is Blindsided. I think this is the first book. And then the second one is Kiss Cut. It might be flipped. I'm not sure. But I really am excited for this because I've read 2 books by Karen Slaughter. I think I have another one that I have not read yet. But I wanted to read her backlist and just read everything, you know, going forward in publication order. So I've heard good things about this series and then her other series, the Will Trent, I think, series that's also been made into a show. So I'm looking forward to these. And then another anticipated read for this year is The Stranger in Her House by John Mars. I have really been enjoying the books that I've been picking up from this author. He just has really cool ideas. But this one just says a stranger has infiltrated your family and now he's taking over. I believe it's a woman and she invites a stranger to her home and then things happen. So I've heard positive reviews about this one, so I'm looking forward to it. So The Ascent by Adam Plantinga, I gave this one 5 stars. This is another book that I have read, and it follows this ex-cop who was sent to prison under like false pretenses. And while he is there, there's like a malfunction with the system and it begins to let all of the prisoners out of their cells. And so this ex-cop and another young lady that is there doing a tour and a group of other people have to try and survive in this prison with these dangerous inmates. So this was really good. It was really thrilling. I will have my review. This review particularly is spoiler free, but I will have that review linked down below in case you guys want to know more. So then I picked up Tender Beast by Lizelle Sandberry. Again, like, look at that cover. This is a young adult horror. So if you guys remember, like a few months ago, I tried her fantasy book, Blood Like Magic, and I did not like it. I actually DNF'd it, but I have heard way more positive things about her horror books. So I have this one. I also have Delicious Monsters, which I have not had a chance to get to yet, but I've heard really good things about this one, just like I've heard really good things about Delicious Monsters. But this one just says, Sunny has 4 siblings, but only one is a murderer. So looking forward to this. And then the last book that I have is The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels by Janice Hallett. She has written another book that's really popular called The Appeal, which I also have and have not gotten to it. But this one involves a cult. Something about a baby that is suspected to be the Antichrist and a cult. But the thing about her books is that it is all told in like mixed media. So like newspaper articles, emails, and all of that jazz. So I'm really excited to read this one, especially this one. I think I would probably read this one first over The Appeal, just because I've heard more positive things about this one, but I'm excited for it, and hopefully it's something that I can read sooner rather than later. So those are all of the books that I have recently received. So I will have any reviews that I have done for any of these books that I've already read, I will have those linked down below, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.